Hey, what's up? This is Donovan Green. Today we're going to talk about 5 weight loss myths that need to die, and that's from 6 miles to supper. We're going to listen to this video together, and I'm going to give my feedback every now and then. I'm going to allow her to talk, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to tap into your comment section and let me know your thoughts as well. All right? So let's get started.
Let's talk about 5 weight loss myths that need to die. On that 80-pound weight loss journey, I started to understand that there were some things that I had always believed about weight loss that really weren't true. And in this video, I'm just going to take you through the 5 worst myths that I believed that kept me from losing weight. Myth number 1, 95% of the people who lose weight gain it all back again. Now, to me, this is the most pernicious myth because you see it all the time in all these articles about weight loss. They will automatically say 95% of the people, who lose weight gain it all back again, as if weight loss is just kind of this fruitless endeavor that we sometimes embark upon. The problem is this statistic came from one study done of just 100 obese people back in 1959. Basically, they gave them a diet, they lost a little bit of weight, and then they sent them on their way. And then they followed up with them later on, and 95% of those people had regained the weight. But the picture is actually a lot more positive than this. If you really dig into the research, you'll see that scientists freely admit they really don't know what percentage of people who lose weight actually keep it off.
Okay, so a lot of the things that she's stating, right, about the scientists and 95% of people and when it was actually done about the people who lose the weight and gain it all back, I have my feelings about that, right? Because it's how did you lose the weight? Did you do a massive diet where you cut out all the calories that you should have been eating? Did you cut out certain nutrients, the fats, the carbohydrates, the proteins? Were you working out excessively? Did you do a lot of drugs? Are you taking stuff like Ozempic? What are you doing, right? Because that can also fall in the category of what's true. And a lot of people don't take the time to look at that. Yes, what she's saying is true about the studies that was done. However, that was old studies, okay? That was years ago. But today, a lot of people who do these fad diets definitely take the weight off and they gain the weight back.
Every time that I've lost weight, I'm just going to gain it all back. And that's what happens to everybody.
So real quick, they do that, right? And people do think it's going to happen to them as well. They're going to lose the weight and gain it all back. But in reality, people really don't care because they're still doing the diets. They're still doing these crazy fat diets and thinking it's going to last a long time. And it really does not last a long time. It literally lasts for a short time. And you do gain the weight back. You double the weight, you triple the weight. It is not a scared tactic. And I love what she's saying. She's giving you some really sound advice. But let me shut up and let's listen some more.
And this was a belief that I had to actively change for myself because, I had it in my head. Well, it's like every other time that I've lost weight, I'm just going to gain it all back. And that's what happens to everybody. So, I'm like everybody else. But as I approached my goal weight, I started to change my belief. I started to say, what? No, weight loss is a simple cause and effect relationship. If I eat less, I will lose weight. And all I have to do is just continue to eat the way I've been eating. If I go back to doing those things that I was doing before, I will go back to weighing what I used to weigh.
Exactly. I like how she said that. You heard what she said, right? If you go back to doing what you was doing before, you will gain the weight back. And that is the problem. A lot of people is doing these crazy diets and they know it's not sustainable for long term. They know it's not going to be something they're going to do forever. And they go right back to what they was doing before. So prime example, let's say you're doing keto and you cut out all the carbohydrates out of your diet and you're having more of the fats in your diet, right? Okay, you do that for 30 days, maybe 60 days, maybe 3 months, okay, 90 days. But once you finish, all that craving and all the stuff that you've been yearning, you're going to double up on the amount of stuff that you cut out of your diet. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. These myths are actually factual. I love what she's saying. Let's go.
And by believing that I really could keep it off, things changed for me this time. I actually have kept it off. And I'm not the only one. In fact, the National Weight Control Registry is trying to do a better job of studying how do just normal, everyday folks lose weight and keep it off, and how successful are they? So what they found was the average amount of weight loss for the people in the registry was 66 pounds, and the people have kept it off for 5.5 years on average. I joined this registry a year or so ago, just so, I could put my information out there. It's totally free. This is just about, trying to help scientists understand weight loss better. So when you get down to your goal weight, if you'd like to check that out, you can check out the link in the description. The main thing to remember about all this is that weight gain is not inevitable. It's just about continuing to do those actions that got the weight off in the first place. Myth number 2, you have to change the foods you're eating in order to lose weight. I know for me, certainly, I thought for the longest time that successful weight loss, really when it came down to it, was forcing yourself to eat the food you hated and not letting yourself eat the foods you love. And that never worked for me. I could do it in the short term. I could stop eating bread, or I could stop eating pasta, and I could go low carb for a little while. But eventually I would go back to eating the foods I love. And what I found for myself was, it's not just about the eating. I mean, this is about a cultural thing. The people that you're around all the time, they eat, certain foods, and to try to cut yourself off from these things, it's not sustainable for most people. It certainly wasn't for me. But I had it in my head that there was no way I could lose weight unless I somehow, did an overhaul of my eating. But this time I just became stubborn. I was like, I'm going to figure out how to lose weight and continue to eat all this food I love. I mean, I'm a Southerner. I love to eat Southern food. I love Julia Child and her philosophy on food. I love butter and I love cream and I love bread and I love pasta. And I need to learn how to eat the appropriate amount so that I can get down to a healthy weight and maintain that.
Okay, so she just said the magic word. Eating the appropriate amount, and I talk about this a lot as well, is a fine line between cutting out the foods that you love and trying to eat what you can't stand and sustaining it. Everything about this whole journey when it comes to your weight loss is sustainability. It's how you are able to develop habits, right, that is going to help you to be better for years to come. So if somebody tells you, hey, cut out your favorite cakes or your favorite cookies and don't have those at all, you don't need that. You need to just learn control. You need to learn how to control your intake and know that you're not eating to be full, or you're not eating this to survive. You're eating this just for a little satisfaction. So if you're going to have the cookies every single day, or the breads or the butter like she says she loves every single day, then that becomes a problem, right? Like everything else. Everything that you do in excessive amounts become an addiction, and you can have some very bad outcomes. So yeah, let's go.
And the wild thing was that this time when I actually told myself, look, everything is on the menu. You have no forbidden foods. You don't need to try to eat low carb. You don't need to even try to eat low fat or anything. Just eat the foods you love and just try to eat the right amount. I lost weight and I've kept it off. And I wish more people could understand this, because I think it holds so many people back. They have it in their head like, well, I would love to lose weight, but I really like to eat ice cream, or I want my Ben and Jerry's at night, or I want to have popcorn when I go to the movies, or I like going to McDonald's, or whatever the thing is. The truth is people lose weight eating all different kinds of foods. There are people who have lost weight on eating nothing but McDonald's. There are people who have lost weight just eating junk food only. And the thing is, it all works. It's just a matter of getting yourself to eat the appropriate amount of food.
Okay, so check this out real quick. So she took off 80 pounds, just for the record. I believe her name is Kayla, I believe. I could be wrong. However, yeah, people can lose weight on junk food alone. And people can lose weight just drinking alcohol. People can lose weight eating dirt. What happens is, what kind of impact does it have on your body physiologically and biologically? Yes, the weight might be coming off, but what damages are you doing on your inside? You see, it's not just about the weight loss. The losing weight perspective is excellent. It's fine. I get it. That's what a lot of people want to do. Like I said, she took off 80 pounds. Congratulations. And I love that. Her energy is amazing. However, I wouldn't recommend for you to listen and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to eat what I want to eat, when I want to eat it, how I want to eat it. Once again, it's about the amount you eat. And I would not recommend for you to take weight off eating junk food, because now you're putting yourself in harm's way of cholesterol issues, blood pressure issues, diabetes issues, high blood sugar levels, extreme fatty livers. You'll be developing too much fat around your organs. So you might be losing the weight on the outside, but on the inside, you're destroying yourself, okay? And those are the things I want you to be mindful of whenever you're listening to these myths and stuff like that. And people who have taken the weight off, they have some sound advice. But I tend to deal more with longevity, and that's what I like to see is how is it going to implement and how's it going to translate to you 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
Myth number 3, you have to exercise in order to lose weight. Now, this one really trips a lot of people up because, they just think, well, if I just had the time to exercise, then, I would lose weight, but I don't have, my schedule is just too crammed full, so I can't lose weight. But the truth is, plenty of people have lost weight without doing any exercise. And in fact, in my own experience, I thought working out really, really hard was going to be the thing that would take the weight off my body. But what I found was when I was working out really, really hard and doing really intense exercises, my appetite was through the roof. And so it made it very difficult to eat the appropriate amount. And another thing that happens is that you can vastly overestimate how many calories you're burning. So you feel entitled to, eat more than you really should.
Okay, so that's true what she's saying, right? But when it comes to nutrition, you have to feed yourself the right amount of carbs, the right amount of proteins, the right amount of fats. Everybody's biological makeup is going to be different. And when you're losing the weight, yes, you can lose the weight without exercising, but you're just losing the weight. But what are you doing with the muscle? If you're not exercising, then you're just losing the weight and your joints become more weakened, right? Your ligaments, your tendons, everything that connects your body, your skeletal system becomes weaker. So you have to find a balance. No, you don't have to go running 50 miles. You don't have to go and lift the heaviest weights in the planet, but you have to work out enough for your body, your musculoskeletal system to be better, your cardiovascular system, your cardiopulmonary system. All of these things have to work cohesively to build a stronger version of yourself as you begin to lose the weight. Plus, when you do the weight training, remember, high intensity weight training to me is shorter periods of time. And if your energy goes up and your appetite goes up, then train while you're fasted. I mean, it's what I love to do. I tell a lot of my clients, train while you're fasted. So when you finish your workout, guess what? You can go and have your meal, a good meal. All right? Okay, let's go.
And these things just make it harder to lose weight. Now, I will say this, that I found my 6-mile walk really did put me in the right mental space. It helped me to be able to have something to do with myself when I felt like stress eating. I feel like it really did help me to lose weight, but I certainly feel like I could have, done it another way without doing any exercise. Like if I hadn't had those 2 hours a day to go for my walk, I think, if I had just learned different ways to deal with the stress and the stress eating, I still could have had the same results. So if you have a schedule that's crammed full, don't let that hold you back from changing the eating side of the equation, which is really the most important side to change. Myth number 4, weight loss is linear. This is something that I really had in my head. I really thought for a long time, the scale will tell you every day if what you did the day before was the right thing. So if the scale's down, that means, okay, you did the right thing. If the scale's up, it means you screwed up. And that's just how it goes. So many times I gave up on weight loss because I would, be feeling like I was doing the right things, and then the scale would go up and I'd think, well, forget it. That's it. It's just impossible to lose weight.
Okay, so what she just stated is very true. How many times have you went ahead and get on the scale and the scale went up 2 pounds? The scale maybe went up a quarter of a pound, and it just depresses the heck out of you. Like, I give up. I no longer want to do this. This is not for me anymore. It's not working. How many times have you done that? This is why I tell people all the time, the scale can be the devil if you're not careful with that scale. And she is speaking perfect sense. The sense that she's speaking right now is on the money.
But what I learned this time is weight loss is really like a heartbeat. Your weight fluctuates up and down, kind of independent from your day-to-day actions. And what I mean by that is that, you might have a day where you eat the right amount of food, you are doing all the things right, and the next day the scale goes up a little bit. And then, on a different day, maybe you overeat by a lot, and the next day the scale's down, and you can really get the wrong message by looking at the day-to-day scale and basing your progress on that. The truth is, a successful weight loss journey looks like a heartbeat, and the weight goes up and down, and just over time, it trends downward to your goal weight. Men tend to have fewer fluctuations here.
Okay, let's take a minute what she just stated. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back just a tad bit to what she just said, and I want you to listen to it.
basing your progress on that. The truth is, a successful weight loss journey looks like a heartbeat, and the weight goes up and down, and just over time, it trends downward to your goal weight.
Okay, so that's it. It trends down. And like you said, it goes up and down, right? It goes up and down. And this happens through anything in life, relationships, right? Your money, your job, your energy, your sleep pattern, everything goes like this. It's like a roller coaster ride. Wee, right? And if people just begin to understand that, then you are going to be much more successful. And as you get to your weight loss journey, guess what's going to happen? It's going to go up again. And then it's going to go down again. So it's never going to just go like this the whole time. No, it's going to play around. It's going to drop a little bit more. It's going to go up a little bit more. And it's going to keep on doing that. Even if you're trying to, let's say you're building muscle. Maybe you don't want to lose weight. Maybe you want to gain weight. The same thing is going to apply to everything that she's saying. You just have to be mindful of where you are and how you're doing this. And it's not linear. Like you said, weight loss is not linear.
Men tend to have fewer fluctuations here, but still it does happen. Water weight comes on and goes off depending on like how salty and sweet your foods are that you're eating. So just know that it's not a straight line down. Myth number 5, weight loss is really complicated. What I found at the end of the day was just a simple truth. If the scale's not moving down, I'm eating too much.
Say that again, girl. I like that. Weight loss is really complicated. That's a myth. What she said? Listen.
Complicated. What I found at the end of the day was just a simple truth. If the scale's not moving down, I'm eating too much. Now that's a hard pill to swallow, and I resisted it for so long, even though there are things that do make this more complicated, because sometimes it can be really difficult to know, why are you eating more than you need to? Or, it may not even really feel like you're eating more than you need to. If your weight is trending up, it does mean that you are eating too many calories for what your body needs. And the very simple solution is to eat less.
Eat less. Listen, push the fork away. Put the spoon down. Put the knife down. Go and take a walk. Read a book. Drink some water. If the scale is going up more and more, you're eating too damn much. I'm going to say it for her, but I'm going to say it a little bit more aggressive, right? That's why the scale can be good if you're able to handle the numbers that you see on the scale. You understand? If you're able to handle the numbers on the scale, then you're good to go. You can weigh yourself every day. And it's a good gateway to give you for 30 days. Weigh yourself every day and get an idea to see what your body's actually doing every day. How is it doing in the morning when you wake up in the morning before you eat anything, before you go to the bathroom? And how are you doing at night before you go to bed? What's the fluctuation? Is it 5 pounds? Is it 10 pounds? Because some people can go up to 10 pounds, believe it or not, in a day. You'd be surprised at how much fluids your body is carrying. So all of that stuff makes sense.
But what I found was that if I always just kept that very simple principle in my head, things went so much more smoothly to me. And on the other hand, when I tried to say, well, no, it's really complicated, that's when I really struggled. So I hope that this video lays those myths to rest. And I hope you found it helpful for your weight loss journey. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Awesome video. Excellent video. So this is, you can check it out. It's 6 Miles to Supper, and it's titled 5 Weight Loss Myths That Need to Die. Let me know your thoughts, right? What did you think about the conversation that she had with you all? How did you feel about the stuff that she was saying and what I was saying? Because I love to hear your feedback. Here at Donovan Green, on this channel, we're just going to be dissecting things, getting the information out there so you can hear not only from myself, but what are other professionals saying in the world? People who I consider pros are the ones who experience life, not just the ones who went to school and graduated and saying, I did 15 years. As it got my bachelor's, my doctorates. That's not a professional. That's somebody who just went through the books. But the people who have experienced what they have been talking about, like I've experienced how to overcome back pains, wrist problems, injuries, and weight loss, because I've had that. I've never been morbidly obese, but I've been obese and I've been chubby. Or I've been skinny. I've been through all the phases. I learned how to build muscle. Now I'm able to maintain my body and feel comfortable in my skin. All right, this is Donovan Green. Listen. Leave those comments, like, comment, and share. We're going to keep on bringing the information to you so you can make the best educated guess and the best educated steps for your life. I'm out of here. I'll see you next time. Peace.